What's up, you guys? This is Adam Gillespie with Rancid and Sweaty Cabs coming at you with yet another video. And this is going to be more of a weekly update, or a 2-week update, because I don't remember the last time I uploaded. I think it was a couple of days ago, last week sometime, maybe a Thursday. But nonetheless, this is going to be what I call a Sweaties update, which, as you can tell, it's based off of my channel name, Sweaty Calves, so it's just Sweaties updates. Anyways, whatever, I'm not going to get too off into the weeds of that. Basically, I'm going to go over some generalized thoughts in regards to things that have been going on in the media recently. For one, we have a new Happy Spider-Man. I, for one, am not a big fan of the idea of a very happy Spider-Man, both in the sense of him being gay and in the sense of him actually having any joy in his life, because Spider-Man should be completely and totally depressed all the time. Let's just be honest. That's what makes him so endearing to us as fans. Obviously, I'm kidding. But it's ridiculous. It's just more Pride Month pandering that the mainstream media companies do because they want to get Pride Month onto their thing. They want to get all the bonus points with all the right political parties and all the right loudest voices out there. And that's the only reason why they've created this new gay Spider-Man called Webweaver. It's really stupid. It's really pointless. It doesn't need to exist. And that's pretty much my thoughts on this. Webweaver doesn't need to exist, and they're going to focus so much of their attention on his sexuality rather than his actions. Rather than what it is he does and how he's a hero, they're going to focus on why it is that he likes to, do the Gawk Gawk 3000. On the other hand, we also have an update in regards to Lightyear. They have massively underperformed compared to what they were projected to do. The budget was $200 million, as you can see. Lightyear still has a way to go at the box office, but as of this writing, it has earned $155 million worldwide against a reported $200 million budget. The big problem is that it is too connected with the competition in the forms of Minions, Rise of Gru, that's bullcrap. It's not connected to too much competition. It's connected to the fact that the actors and producers and creators of this film actively called fans that didn't like the idea of them pushing a political piece of propaganda onto children idiots. They called the fans idiots and dinosaurs that would eventually die off. They basically discounted everything that actual fans had grievances with. Actual fans. And the only marketing they had for this movie, apart from the trailers, was, oh, you fans are so dumb, you don't know what you like, let me show you what is good. That's why this movie failed, because they sucked at their marketing. Because Chris Evans, the leading actor in this film, actively called his fans a bunch of idiots and dinosaurs who would die off. That's why it failed. And if you see something like a $200 million budget, it's safe to assume that it took about $400 million to get it to the box office. The reason for that is because you can usually go up an extra half of what it is that it costs, right? So if it's 200, you can go up to another 100 million or another 200 million in marketing costs. Trailers, commercials, billboards, action figures, all these different things. And by the way, I was in a store not too long ago, and the shelves were just filled with Lightyear toys. They were filled with Lightyear toys. No one's buying these things. No one's buying this crap. No one wants to buy a toy from a movie that sucks. But if you see a $200 million budget, assume automatically that it's going to be $400 million in order for it to actually market itself, because that marketing costs usually 50 to an extra 2 times of 1 to 2 times more than it originally cost to actually make the film. So this movie is just flopping massively right now. It really is, and the reason for it is because their marketing campaign was, look at the gay people, and you people who don't want us to push gay stuff on your kids, you're stupid. That's basically the marketing for this movie, and that's why it's not working. That's why it's failing. On the other hand, though, we have Top Gun Maverick, a movie that didn't pander to any political propaganda, a movie that just focused on telling a good story, and a movie that has struck a chord with the hearts of every single American out there, and we have an amazing box office for this. The best box office, I think, for any Tom Cruise movie out there. It has crossed the $1 billion mark, as you can see right here. The worldwide box office is $1.23 million, so $1,023 $1,023,175,367, whereas the domestic box office just in America alone is $538,475,367, and worldwide the international box office is $484,700,000. So they have made a massive amount of cash, and I think that if we go into, we can actually find out the information as to nah, I don't know if I don't want to drag this on too long. Basically, what I was gonna do was I was gonna try to just find out how what the percentages were on the drop-off rate for Maverick, but that's not necessarily important right now because it had a very low drop-off rate compared to the other movies, and a very, very low drop-off rate compared to Lightyear, which had like a 60 to 70% drop-off rate, like, and it went so far down. And then we also have probably the most controversial comic that has come out in recent history. Marvel Comics draws fire from stereotypical depiction of Miles Morales, Thor, Hood Asgard in latest issue of What If. Now this, not necessarily on my top 10 controversy list. It's hilarious, the amount of fake ebonics and the amount of complete and total bullcrap that this writer puts into the story, because it's stereotypical and because that's all this writer in a mainstream media outlet knows about black people. He thinks that all people from the black community think and act exactly like the ones on mainstream media. That they all use these corny, stupid lines like hammer time, as you can see right here, and that they would disrespect something as important as a magical artifact like Mjolnir with, graffiti. Because why not? But if we scroll down, I'll actually show you some of the stuff that actually goes on in this comic, at least the stuff that's been released. Scroll down just a little bit, and here we go. I will read to you what is in this comic that introduces Miles Morales to the audience reading this. He's got style, he's got flair to boot. With his kicks, you know he's in hot pursuit. Old enough to know that he didn't know all. He wants to have a ball before the fall. All his dreams rain from the clouds above. He brings the thunder, best believe it, bruv. I'm sorry. I'm just breaking up laughing, it's hilarious. Of all the 5 realms, Asgard is his hood. For miles you can see he is just that good. The Rainbow Bridge takes him to his quest. The Bifrost line goes north, south, east, and west. From Jormungandr, I don't know how to pronounce that, to the Wrecking Crew, he's stuck Gullinbursty in the Asgard Zoo. But he is low-key when he wants to be, name on marquees like his uncle Loki. Odinson, he's the son of gods and kings. Got so many wins, check out all those rings. I love the fact that they don't even draw any rings on his fingers. It's so stupid. They literally just put in a rhyme because they thought it would sound cool to the black community. And they were like, oh yeah, we're not going to actually put any effort into this. He's formerly known as Prince for sure. His subjects and friends just call him Thor. Like, that doesn't even rhyme. You have to really change that. Like, you have to go, he's formerly known as Prince for sure. His subjects and friends, they just call him Thor. Like, it's it's so stupid. It's so stupid. And here we have some actual dialogue from it. Time to spin these hits. Now that was a banger. Right up to your face and diss you. What in the world am I reading right now? It's so terrible. Ain't no party like an Asgard party, 'cause an Asgard party don't quit. Light it up. Oh my gosh, it's so corny and cheesy and terrible. And then you've got characters like Black Panther who are actually interesting, who actually, take African culture and apply it to a storyline and make a character unique and interesting and incredible in and of his own right. Whereas if you look at something like Miles Morales, it's literally just race swap Thor and then make him act like the corniest, cheesiest black stereotype that we can think of. That's all this is. It's really pointless. It's really stupid. And honestly, it shouldn't be as big a controversy as it is. It really shouldn't. it's funny that it is, because Marvel genuinely thought that this was going to win over people in the black community, or this was going to strike a chord with SJWs, because it's just so inclusive. So stupid. It really is. It's terrible. And then we have, of course, the cherry on top of all this, the main craziness that's going on with Ezra Miller. He is still on the run, as far as I know. There have been more allegations from more women all across the world, some in England, that have actually said, hey, guess what? He is a total jackwad who is actually really bad, and he abused us. You know? Yes, I'm saying he because Ezra Miller is a man. Ezra Miller, well, he's not a man. He's a dick, if I may be so blunt. Ezra Miller is a dick. He's a piece of garbage. But it's ridiculous. It really is. Yeah, it's gone on. It's just spiraled out of control ever since April of 2020. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. You've got we got this woman here, Carlos Rayner, who was hit by Miller with a chair. You have a woman named Nadia, who alleged that her 2-year friendship with Miller, which had included consensual sex in the past, turned abusive at her Berlin apartment in February 2022. Miller was allegedly friendly when Nadia invited him into her home, but grew agitated when he was not allowed to smoke indoors. Which, typically you don't smoke indoors. I mean, if you have your own house, great, but if it's an apartment, it's some place that someone else might live in eventually. That just set him off, Nadia said. I asked him to leave about 20 times, and even more. He started insulting me. I'm a transphobic piece of word. I'm a Nazi. It became so stressful for me. These are all things that Nadia was saying that Ezra Miller said about her. Here's some more news. This latest news comes from just a week after Rolling Stone story revealed that since mid-April, Miller has been housing a 25-year-old mother and her 3 young children at their Vermont property. Rolling Stone reported that the property also has a cannabis farm with more plants than are allowed without a license to cultivate. Sources with knowledge of the living arrangement alleged that the 96-acre compound has been an unsafe environment for children where unattended guns were scattered around the home on the premises. The anonymous mother told the outlet that Miller helped her flee an abusive relationship, calling the home a healing heaven. She also claimed the guns are stored in a part of the house that the children never go in, and suggested that they are for self-defense. Representatives of Miller did not respond to Rolling Stone's request or for comment. And it is kind of crazy. I heard that there was a bullet in a kid's mouth. Like, Ezra Miller literally put a bullet in a kid's mouth. Or he was over at some little girl's house and he threatened the parents of the little girl. He threatened to kill them if he wasn't allowed to go, act flirtatious with this 12-year-old girl. Ezra Miller is a pedophilic piece of garbage who uses they/them pronouns because he thinks that it'll help him get a better look in the SJW mind, in the light of the woke political propaganda pieces of garbage out there who would actually stick up for him. Seriously, this is ridiculous. Someone posted about the crimes that Ezra Miller has committed, made a joke about it, and someone got up in arms about using the wrong pronouns, and then said, "Oh my gosh, he's not that bad." Like, he's literally kidnapped people, threatened to kill people. He's threatened to kill parents of children he wasn't allowed to poon. He has done terrible, terrible things. He is that bad. He, not they, not them, he is that bad. Ezra Miller is a piece of garbage. He really is. He really, truly freaking is. And anyone who stands up for him is just trying to make an excuse for why it is that a weird wackadoo with weird pronouns like Ezra Miller is still able to get away with this crap. It's an excuse. And it's a desire to pander to this person who is completely mentally insane, rather than actually use the law the proper way and put him behind bars. And admit that he has a mental deficiency, that he is mentally insane, that he is not all there, that he has some massive mental issues. That needs to be understood. Ezra Miller is not a sane human being. Ezra Miller is not a mentally stable person. And most people who have delusions of grandeur, like Ezra Miller, are not mentally sane people. Okay? That's if I were to tell you that I could fly and I jumped off the Empire State Building and landed and splattered all over the ground, would you automatically think, "Oh yeah, no, he definitely flew"? No, of course not. So why is it that we give any leeway to someone like Ezra Miller, who is completely and totally mentally insane? It is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just gotten more and more out of hand. And the more and more light that we give this human filth like Ezra Miller, the more light we give him, the more attention we give him without actually prosecuting him for his crimes, the more likely it is that he's going to escalate his crimes. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. That's been Sweaty's updates, Sweaty's weekly updates. You know what? You guys let me know what you think the name should be in the comment section below. Also, make sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts in regards to any one of the stories that I shared with you today. I know it was very brief on each of the stories, but I just wanted to kind of cover what I noticed happening during the week because I've been really busy working on my comic and working on actual, my full-time job. So I haven't had much time to record recently, but I still want to hear you guys' thoughts nonetheless. So leave a comment in the comment section below, leave a like, hit that bell notification icon, and subscribe so that you'll be alerted to every single upload that I have. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.